Hello and welcome back to Kakepipe Automotive. It's 2025 and we're going to talk about what we did in 2024 and what the plans are for the Corrado moving into 2025 season of racing. So probably most of you have kind of realised that we didn't actually do that much in the 2024 season. Coming to the end of 2023, we finished the whole season. We finished fourth in the championship, a few points behind third place. Really good season, really happy with the result, and it kind of showed me what the car needed over the season, and the biggest thing was getting the car rotated. So we entered 2025. I knew I wasn't going to do a full season. You may notice we are in a different location, and that was going to take up most of my budget. 2024 was right, let's get this car rotating better, get it turning in better, stop it understeering as much, and try and keep the agileness of what you see with the Clios into this kind of chassis. Over the winter of 2023-2024, we changed a few things. We refreshed the gearbox, we changed a bit of the setup, really simplistic stuff that, we didn't really do that much, in all honesty. And we sent it out at Blighton quite early on in the season. There was a bit of a test day and the car was flying, absolutely flying. It was on rails, it could turn. I set a PB by 2.5 seconds previous. Absolutely fantastic. So the new season was coming up and I was kind of like itching of, do I just go for it? Do I enter the season? We missed the first few rounds because of the development and what we were changing, moving into the new premises. And we went to Donny for a track day, just an evening track day. Temperatures were good. There was a little bit of spitting rain, but nothing too major. And we got out on track. 3 or 4 laps in, the car felt good, so I just let things warm up, see if everything's all right. We changed a few pressures, the usual shit. And within 3 or 4 laps, started to lose third gear. And generally it was coming from fourth to third, so it was on the downshift in a braking zone maybe, or into a tight corner. And it kind of got to the point where I just said, look, enough's enough. I'm going to put it on the trailer. I don't want to destroy the gearbox. I'd only just fitted a diff, but Blighton went really well. Yeah, so we ended the day, and then we helped one of our mates out instead to kind of dial in his car. We got the car back, I pulled the engine straight out, stripped the gearbox off, and just couldn't see anything wrong. However, when we've done that, I've kind of looked at everything from flywheel to pressure plate. Is it looking right? Is it holding enough torque? Check the master cylinder, no binding, no locking up, no issues there. Moved to the slave cylinder. After taking the gearbox off, engine out, and it was sticking. So you could push it in. You'd have to push quite hard, but you could push it in and it would come out in steps. So it wasn't releasing very well. So we replaced that. Things were looking good. I put it on some axle stands, went through the gears as it was, and it felt all right. So we decided to enter Snetterton mid-season and see how we'd just get on. We didn't get that far, unfortunately. So we went the night before, unloaded the car, woke up in the morning, the qualifying was quite early, took the wheels up, put the splitter on, made sure everything was all right, and a guy came over and said, I really like your car. Do you mind if I have a look in the engine bay? Yeah, no worries, mate. Went to open the engine bay, I got it to about here, and my back went. And it kind of put me on my arse for a little bit. I got spooned into the car for qualifying, went to do qualifying. Qualifying didn't go well. I was in a lot of pain. I didn't have third gear for some reason again. Anyway, I finished qualifying, come in, got bollocked for not having stickers on the car, etc. And got back to where we'd parked the camper and where we were stationed, and I could not get out of the car. Literally, I couldn't put any pressure on my lower back. My legs didn't want to work properly. I was struggling. So I got pulled out of the car, and I laid down, and that's probably the worst thing that I could have done, because when I laid down, I just could not get back up, and people were struggling to help me get back up because of the amount of pain. And with that, the circuit medical staff were called. They managed to get me up. They put me on a stretcher. They took me to the med center. So that was kind of snettered and done. You know, I was like, right, well, we're not racing anytime soon. So the back healed. I managed to get back on the car, do a few things. Thought we'd sorted out third gear issue, because I'd managed to snap the bracket that holds the shifter cables to the shift tower. It snapped, so I thought it's got to be that. It's just clearly moving as I'm trying to get it into third. It's just splitting open and it's just not going in, and that's why I'm struggling. Replace that, and then at that point we kind of decided, right, we are going to race at the end of the year. It's the end of the season. Want to do something. I need to make sure the car is ready for 2025, next season. So we entered the Burkett. And the Burkett was great, absolutely fantastic, really good fun. However, same issue again. When the car got warm, after a few laps, I lost third. Just could not get it into third. So I did the Burkett, the Silverstone GP circuit with pretty much no third gear. And we did all right, yeah. It was just a play. It wasn't really competitive for the team, but we had good fun. And then the next day, we decided to enter hot hatch in the sprint at Silverstone National, where I did want to push the car. And I thought, you know what? I know I've not really got third. I'll try and rev match it, do a bit of heel and toe, try and get it in, and just see where we get. A bit of a play, end of season. I know I've clearly got gearbox issues, but everything else seemed fine. So we put it into the race. Yeah, no third at all. But the race went really well, actually. Held my own as much as I could without third. Some of the footage I've got, you can hear it. Naturally, you try and go for third because you're fighting another car. And it's just screaming at me. I can't use that gear. And pretty much we finished where we started. And that was about 4th or 5th in class. So yeah, that was pretty much 2024 done very quickly. The year went super quick. We've not really had much track time, not as much as I wanted in the car, but there's something clearly wrong. So I wanted to kind of restart 2025 with the video blog of what we're doing to the car and how and what we need to do to get it nearly 2 seconds quicker to keep up with the new EP3s that are entering Class B. So we've got to find that time. If we want to be competitive, we've got to find that time. So the idea is we're going to strip the engine. The head's coming off because I think we've got a bit of a head gasket issue. I noticed at Silverstone. I don't mind taking the head off. It's nice and easy. I've got all of the kit with spare kit everywhere anyway. So we'll do that and we'll make sure it's fine. At the same time, if we're getting that deep into it, I can check the chains, chain guides, everything else to make sure they're all in good condition, because the engine does get a kick in. There's a few changes that I want to do moving forward so we can try and get this 2 seconds from wherever it needs to be found. First and foremost, we're dropping some weight out of the car. So the splitter is going to be a little bit shorter. I ran a 50mm lip from the front leading edge of the car, and actually it was huge, massive amount of lip. We're going to lose a little bit of weight of shortening the splitter as well, and we're going to try and extend it further back underneath the engine. We are going to strip all of the underseal out of the wheel arches, the engine bay, and under the front subframe up to about where the front seats finish. And the reason for that is I want to check the subframe mounting position of the, where it bolts to the car. I'm going to stitch weld everything that I didn't do before because there was a ton of underseal and I just didn't have the time. And we've got a little repair to do on the passenger side. So yeah, I just want to make sure everything's all right there. But again, there's a chance for us to save a bit of weight where we can. We are changing the intake design. And with that, we won't have over the head design of the intake. because there's so much heat soak. I'm seeing 45 degrees on intake temperatures. So we're going to try and eliminate that, get that down, get some horsepower, get some more torque from that. I know I'm going to lose a little bit of torque because I'm reducing the length of the intake. The mathematics kind of work out as far as I know. However, we should not lose that much. That's going to drastically change the car. It's all about getting colder air in rather than more horsepower. I just want colder air, because what we're seeing is at the very end of a race, or towards the end of a race, we're getting a little bit of knock because things are so hot, intake temperatures are so hot, etc. We're going to possibly add some street cams. So yeah, we've got plans for the chassis side of it. Everything is being re-poly bushed. So I've gone and got myself all Powerflex black everywhere. So we're talking every rubber on the car that is still left will be put into Powerflex Black Series. Yeah, so that's where we're at for 2025. As for racing, we are going to do the first race at Hot Hatch at Donny National in April. We definitely will be racing this year. There will be more race videos coming out. I've still got a few from 2023 to upload. Long story short, I lost a hard drive, managed to find it. Now I can do something with it. Also, you may have seen from social media, the Polo, Warren's Polo, is doing quite well. There's a few changes he wants to make, but I'll let him tell you all about that. Hopefully in another video, or it'll be on social media. And we have brought in another team member, Josh Bavin, in his Clio 182. And he, again, we will get that up shortly, his race footage from his first ever race at Silverstone National. And he did very well indeed. I'm really proud of him for what he's done. And the car is flying. It's as simple as that. The car is fantastic. Still work to do. It can go a lot further, but I think he's going to be a very competitive car in whatever series he races in. So we are building up our team. We've got loads more stuff to show you guys over 2025 season. But I just wanted to quickly get on at the start of the year and tell you guys we are still here. We really appreciate all of your support. The Corrado is getting a ton of love before the season starts. The Polo is getting a ton of love before the season starts. There are some other makes creeping in. However, you will see a new car enter in more of a build vlog kind of style in the next few months. I'm really hoping you stick around for that. But I'm excited for it. There's a lot of stuff that I'm planning and working around, but I'm excited. So please stick around, give us a like, subscribe, all the usual shit, and we will see you in 2025. Cheers, guys.